Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold and the Beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. After the twisting interlude in which Bill cohabitated with madwoman Sheila, fans of Bold and Beautiful have been clamoring for a fresh narrative for Bill, and finally it has materialized. Some are unsure if they want this for the character, possibly because it's so clear that the Bill bombshell that comes next will lead us to have a severe case of déjà vu. Liam Cooper made his television debut in 2010 as the tech-savvy newbie who drew Hope Logan's attention on Bold and Beautiful. After getting to know him, the blonde quickly came to the conclusion that the new hottie, who was brought up by Kelly, a former model, had been fathered by someone she knew. Before it was discovered that his father was none other than the mighty Bill Spencer Jr., both Ridge and Thorne were taken into consideration. Bill softened slightly as a father and fell in love with Katie Logan. Soon after, she gave birth to another son, Will, in 2012. However, Bill's family was far from overgrowing. Another mature baby boy entered the picture in 2013. Quinn Fuller, Wyatt's mother, had previously met paths with her ex-husband, who was wearing the sword necklace she had crafted for him, in the same location as when Bill went into Il Giardino and recognized Poppy. Quinn attempted to ignore Bill after realizing he was the father of her kid, who she had concealed from her for his whole life, but Bill saw the jewelry designer and the rest is history. This takes us to the present, and if you weren't feeling like you've been there, done this, when Bill initially started focusing on Poppy at Il Giardino, you most likely are by now. Luna, the new Forrester intern who is in love with R.J. Forrester, is the daughter of Poppy. She came to the city with a flair for fashion and a background that included growing up with a single mother, Poppy, who was a free-loving sort of person. That ought to have made you say, if it didn't already. Enter Bill, who was certain he remembered Poppy from far back, and for the majority of Bold and Beautiful fans, things really got interesting. At this point, the writing is completely clear, not only at Il Giardino, but also at Forrester, where Luna was occupied with explaining to RJ that she doesn't know who her father is, even as Bill sat across from Poppy during their date, and reminded her of the precise location of their previous meeting. The sensation of déjà vu really hit when Bill informed Poppy that they had spent a wonderful night together at the Golden Gate Music Festival more than 20 years prior, and he cheekily added that he didn't think she'd have forgotten either. More than ever, it's evident that Bill just welcomed his third child, a daughter named Luna, into his family of Spencer men. Bill had no idea he was the father of Thursday, January 5's episode of Bold and the Beautiful show that Steffy Forrester believed Sander Avant was fabricating his charge against Thomas Forrester in retaliation for his termination. Steffy brought up the fact that Sander had reported the incident to the police, who concluded that irresponsible driving was to blame for Emma Barber's accident. John Finnegan concurred with Steffy's worries, stating that losing Hope may be the tipping point for Thomas. Steffy was more concerned about Hope Logan, Annika Noel, exploiting Thomas. Steffy believed Finn was siding with Hope after he brought up Thomas' problems and stated that Hope deserved to be safeguarded. Finn refuted it, but he did bring up Thomas's horrific past and all the agony he had brought around. With an angry nudge, Steffy persisted that Thomas was not to fault for Emma's accident and forced Finn to back off. After Steffy calmed down a little, she embraced Finn and called him baby, pleading with him to stop. Thomas playfully questioned Hope in the Forrester Creations design studio whether she was certain she wouldn't decide not to accept his proposal. But Thomas soon reassured Hope that he knew she wasn't ready yet and that he was prepared to wait. Hope looked thoughtful and caressed the engagement ring on her necklace. Hope stated that she hated to let Thomas down, but he claimed that she didn't. Reiterating that he understood Hope wasn't ready, Thomas said that she would know she was the only woman for him in the interim. Hope gave Thomas a kiss, but she didn't look very comfortable. Later, Steffy discovered Thomas by himself and provided information on Sander's appearance as Finn's patient. While Steffi argued that the news was significant since Xander believed Thomas was to blame for Emma's death, Thomas didn't understand why it important. Hope thought this was about Thomas after Finn called her into his office. After learning what he did, Finn claimed he was more concerned than ever about Hope's relationship with Thomas. After Finn clarified that Xander Avant had arrived as a new patient, he added Xander had made a very startling claim. Finn brought up Steffi's belief in her brother, but he was afraid because Xander had charged Thomas with being the reason for Emma's unfortunate outcome. Do you now see why I'm worried about you so much? On Thursday's B&B episode, Finn questioned an astounded Hope. In the meanwhile, Luna Nozawa told R.G. Forrester that Bill Spencer may be the one to permanently alter Poppy Nozawa's life. Bill had a long history with women, so R.G. warned Luna not to anticipate too much from their first date. Luna wasn't sure what Poppy's type was, but based on their past interactions, she surmised that Bill may be her type. Luna had grown accustomed to not having her father in the photo because it had always just been she and Poppy. RG questioned Poppy about whether she had ever acknowledged her father by name, realizing that Luna couldn't ignore what she hadn't known. Luna stated that Poppy hadn't and proposed that her mother had only mentioned that she was created out of love. Luna didn't appear to be attempting to arrange a marriage, but she did sound optimistic about Bill and Poppy's future together. Though Luna adored happy endings, RG felt that thinking about a wedding was a bit too much. After all this time, Luna said, perhaps Bill would finally give Poppy one. Poppy admitted at Il Giardino that she did, after all these years, recall Bill. Poppy had never forgotten that amazing night, and she never would. With a suggestion that it was fortification for all Bill's questioning, Poppy took a pill out of a case. Poppy mentioned she was anxious before this date and needed something to calm her down, like Bill's scotch, after clarifying that everything was okay. Poppy brought up the fact that Bill had never contacted her following the music festival, even though she didn't want to confront him. Bill apologized and said that at the time he was preoccupied with his business. Bill stated Poppy was kind to let him off the hook and said he was sorry, but Poppy understood that they had their own lives to live. Bill pondered how things could have turned out differently if he had answered the phone then. After Bill praised Luna for her accomplishments, Poppy acknowledged that Luna hadn't had the best upbringing. Bill remarked that Poppy had to be a real jerk when she mentioned that Luna's father wasn't involved in her life. Bill came to the realization that Luna didn't know her father when Poppy said that her father was unaware of her pregnancy. Bill presumed Poppy was aware of Luna's father, but she made a suggestion that these inquiries were becoming intimate. Bill claimed that any guy would be happy to name Luna his daughter, even if he didn't plan to eavesdrop. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.